I think it's time that we give our flowers to the best people in the family. I'm talking about the people who carry the whole family on their back as the best person in the whole entire crew. I'm talking about the best looking one out of the whole family, every single one of them. And ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about the youngest in the family. Clearly, the parents who had this child had to stop at them because they found out they got it right that second, third, or fourth time. Now you may be wondering, hey Scout, are you the youngest in the family? Yes, I am, of 4. But throughout being the youngest in the family, I do realize there are different types of positives and negatives being the youngest. And there are also different experiences between different people who are the youngest in the family. That being, some people are like 2 years to 3 years from the next child, or they are significantly younger than their oldest one like me. So I like to talk about some of the positives and negatives of being the youngest in my experience and some other people's experience who may relate in this situation. Now, like I said, this is me speaking in terms of having siblings and cousins who are like 10 to 15 years older than me. So this is not trying to spew any hate or anything controversial. This is just something that I've seen and that I also want to get off my chest and just let people know how I've been going through. Even though I'm still the best in the family, do not get that twisted. I still am. And yes, a lot of these scenarios may seem contradicting, but they kind of make sense in certain different situations, so bear with me. So let's start off with the negatives of being the youngest in the family. The first on this list I have is being teamed up against. So like I said, me being in a family of 4 of my siblings, I have 3 older sisters and it's just me. So at any point, at any time, they can all relate together, group together, and take me out because I'm the youngest with less experience and don't know what I'm talking about. It's always, my fault, or I'm always the one in the wrong. And that can happen sometimes, and that's annoying. So being teamed up against, not all that cool. If it comes into terms of when you were younger and all siblings like to have physical fights here and there, you know that the older 2 ones are just gonna prank you or just try and set you up, and you are the one that is now the punching bag of the whole crew. But that's fine. That's fine. We take those. We learn from that and we build from that, because when we get older and you guys need our help because you can't walk at some point, we trip you down the steps. I don't know what to tell you. You can't get mad at us from that. Second one on this list is being left out of everything. So I've realized as growing up, again, having siblings and family members who are significantly older than me, I'm left out of everything. I think at now the age of 22, I'm finally learning a lot of family things that have been happening, good or bad. And it kind of sucks because everyone's already been through that or they talked about it. And now I'm just learning everything and they're looking at me like, sorry dude, this is happening. And I'm like, this is overwhelming because it's all being thrown at you at one time and it just sucks. The next thing on the list is having expectations to follow your earlier siblings. Something like when they're older, some of them get their jobs or they have these fine cars or houses and everything like that. Or even just going through school and you have to make sure that you either match their energy because they were so great or they weren't so good, so then you have to make sure that you were not them, but you already have that target on your back to either follow them or not follow them. And that just has a lot of pressure to it as being the younger sibling, because you just want to be yourself, but you can't, because you either are their shadow or you have to run away from what they put already on your last name. And it kind of sucks, but at the end of the day, like I said, the youngest one is always the better sibling, so they will always make it work, you know what I mean? Next is being seen as the baby of the family. Yes, I understand through my age, I am the youngest. However, I am not a baby anymore. I have grown up, I'm 22 years old, I do not need to be told or at least being treated like a little boy like I used to be. Not anymore. It's just a lot of certain situations where you sit there and you just, you're realizing that sometimes they'll talk to someone a certain way, but then they talk to you like you're still like 4 years old, and I'm like, you understand I'm not 4 anymore. Like legally, I'm allowed to take this and just drink it at any point that I want. Just letting you know, I'm not a baby anymore. And finally, the last negative on this list is watching everybody age in front of you. At some point, it kind of hits you when you're just watching and you kind of look around and you're like, everyone's getting older. And like I said, with significant age of everybody in my family, it's like watching my parents just start getting older and older. And I just graduated college and I haven't even had kids. I'm not married. I just have a girlfriend, and it's just not everything else that my siblings are doing right now, which they have kids, they've been married, they've been around the world. And my parents and grandparents got to see that. And right now I just graduated college. So it's one of those things where being the youngest can suck because everyone can see what your older siblings have done and accomplished, and you're still on that rise, but they're also getting older, so it's like you don't have that much time as what everyone else did, and it kind of sucks, but at the same time, you can only do what you can only do, so it happens. Now, on a much lighter tone, I'd like to switch the topic to something more positive, because all the positives are with us, the younger child. And the first one on the list is getting away with everything. We usually get away with almost every single thing, and that means things like staying out late, being able to bring anybody we want to over, having significant others come over that we want to, and it's just like, they kind of stop caring. I mean, they care, but they kind of stop caring because they're like, you know what? By this child, we know they're the good child, they're the golden child, so like, we trust them. We want them to let them do what they want because we know they're gonna figure it out on their own. So it's one of those things where they're just like, yeah, let them do that. And you know what? That's why we're the best. The next positive on the list is watching everybody's actions and following or not following. What I mean by this is you get to watch your siblings grow and see what they do and watch all their negative things that they do in life and not follow it. Or you can watch all the positive things they do and follow it that way, but just do it better. Next on the list is by like your second, third, or fourth child, the parents kind of figure it out. Like I said, life isn't perfect. No parent's ever really gonna figure it out. But by your later child, you're kind of like, all right, I get the rhythm. I know how to take care of them. I know how to really parent in some certain way, not to freak out this way, that way. They kind of just figure it out as they go. And by us, that's what they're saying. The prodigy child is already taken care of the best way possible, and they know that they can just let them roam free, whatever they want to do. So that's why I'm saying we're the best one. Another positive is that we are always protected by the older siblings or cousins. And yeah, you can kind of see there's bodyguards or something weird, whatever, but I'll be real at the end of the day, having my older sisters be there for me in any way possible, like I always knew I was protected. I always knew that somebody will have my back in any certain way. Even though I can take care of myself, I know they can take care of me as well. Like I said, they were like second, third, fourth moms to me because they always took care of me at any age and every age, and they still do now. So it's something that I, adapted to, and I love them for that, and they are the best for that. And the final reason why being the best sibling is the youngest is that we are drama free. So like I said, for my significant age between everybody else and me, I cannot be a part of any drama because you know why? I was like 3 when it all happened. You can't blame someone who's barely talking, so I did nothing wrong. Everybody else is having their own trauma and stuff that they're going through, that they've been going through since they were children, and I'm over here having my Go-Gurt eaten up and just having a good time, but like I have no drama because I wasn't there for it. There's always sibling, cousin rivalry that's been growing up with, but again, because I'm over here on my own island, you can't get mad at me because I wasn't there when you guys were playing around in the yard and then all of a sudden one pushed each other over some dumb game. I wasn't there. I was up there inside being crowned and pampered by the parents and everybody else because they knew I was the best one in the family. But like I said, being the youngest in the family has its positives and it definitely has its negatives, but I'm definitely grateful for what I've had through my family. I'm definitely grateful for everybody who's around me, and again, I'm okay with being the youngest because, like I said, I am the best sibling there is. But it's your boy Scout Maps. I hope you have a better day and have a better life. Much love to everybody. Take care.